Hey everyone, if you're building AI-powered chatbots, you need tools to interact with your existing APIs, right? You know how complicated the process can be. Let's say you have a server which actually manages the orders of your users, and you want to build a chatbot where users can interact with their orders and then request for refund or request for status of their orders, etc. Let's say you want to build a chatbot for that. What would you do? So firstly, this is the hard way. You'll have to create base models for each and every response object you're interacting with your APIs. And then you'll have to implement the callers to call the particular APIs to get the orders, to get the order status, to check the transaction status, or to request for refund. For all these, you'll have to create the API callers and all the objects required for those. And then you'll have to define all the input schemas, the descriptions, the types of the params that are required for the tools, all these, and implement the business logic over here. After you implement the tools, you pass these tools to the agents either in LangGraph or Anthropic or even OpenAI. So this is the hard way of doing stuff. Easy way, come to our platform, create your first project. Give the project name. Let's say I'm giving order manager. So this is a chatbot which manages users orders. This gives us a server URL for your API and then upload this swagger.json. So this has all your API schema. Now just click on create project and you can view all your API endpoints here. You can create multiple projects and you can view over here. Let's say something is not fetched properly, you can go and edit it over here as well. Once you're done importing your project, so you can import the project using swagger.json or you can manually create, so let's say you can manually create your APIs as well. You can click on here, you can import from curl or you can create your own APIs. Let's say if you have minimal APIs, you can create it yourself over here. Or if you want to batch upload few APIs with schemas, you can do that as well. Once you're done with setting up your APIs, you can click on tools and click on create tool. So you have to choose the APIs. So let's say I want to create a tool which fetches the orders for a particular user. Now you can say create tool to fetch user orders. If you see, this requires authentication token. Based on this only, actually the API is fetching orders for that particular user. The token has the user ID. So now how would you pass that? So you can just say token will come from env. So this env you can pass via our SDK. So I'm clicking on generate tool and instantly it creates a tool for you with name, description, what all inputs are required. This doesn't need any, and all the business logic for it, everything. And you can just click on save tool. Here are all the tools which are necessary for my chatbot right now. So if you see, I've created one tool to retrieve order, one tool to get the transactions for the order, one tool to check the transaction status and refund if it has failed. So this is a dummy chatbot I'm creating. So you can create multiple branches and multiple people can work on it parallelly. So I have chosen this API to get the transaction status and this to refund. And I have said create a tool to check the status of the transaction. If it's failed, refund it. Take the token from the env. So you can see it has created the tool name, description properly, all the inputs necessary. From the APIs, it understands that we need a refund reason, we need the transaction ID from the user. And then it has implemented the logic properly by taking all these inputs, checking the transaction status. If it's failed, it refunds, and then the whole thing has been done over here. So now using our SDK, you can implement multiple agents with multiple tools in just few lines of code. It's very simple. So first thing you need to do is install our SDK reactor-OpenAPI tools and then import the necessary adapters. Currently I'm building a chatbot using Anthropic, so I'm importing the Anthropic adapter. So you need to initialize the Anthropic client. You need to initialize our adapter. You can find our API key in the in our dashboard. So like I said, we were passing tokens for the header, right? How would you pass that? Or how would you pass some secrets which are required for your APIs? So if you see, I am uh, doing a demo or login username and password. So as soon as I fetch the token from the server, I am passing it as an environment variable for our adapter. So you can just say add environment variable token. I am passing the actual token. So this will be passed to the headers for the required APIs. So you can pass the necessary secrets and dynamic inputs using the environmental variables for the adapter. After that is done, you just need to provide the Anthropic client and the LLM config. So you have additional parameters like options where you can mention tools, only a few tools which can be used by this chatbot. So once that is done, you can just pass the user input in this way, chatbot invoke and then just the user input. So I'll just give you a demo over here. Python example.py. So you can see it's asking for username, password, and then now it will call our server and then retrieve the token and pass it to the adapter. Now I'll say, can you please list my orders? So over here you can see that there are three tools which we have defined and it has initialized everything. So I'll say please list my orders. So it understood it has to call the order retriever, and then it doesn't need any tool inputs. It executed and got all our orders. So now I'll say I have issue with order smartwatch. Let's say I have issue with smartwatch. Can you please check if my transaction went through? So now it says it has to use the get order transaction. It has to pass this input, so it passes and then it gets the transaction. So we see that uh, so we see it has fetched the transaction and it has fetched the status of the transaction as well by calling transaction status and refund tool. So you can see both the transactions are completed, which means the payment for your smartwatch has been successfully processed, and this is the payment. So 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 this way you can create multiple chatbots with multiple tools in a very easy manner, and the tools are executed in your environment itself. So you don't need to worry about security. We only serve and maintain your tools. Thank you.